What's up, guys? So my son picked up this TTr50 a couple weeks ago. It's a pretty cool bike. It's got GYTR parts all over it. Full exhaust. It has the graphics. It has bars. The top of the triple tree here. It has a seat. The skid plate, chain guide. We only had a few minutes to look at it. It was kind of a weird situation. It is titled, so we kind of met at the notary. Bit of a drive. Didn't really smoke a lot when we looked at it, but when we got it back and he really started pounding on it, it started smoking. So checked the valves. Valves were set right. Couldn't really get it to idle. Cleaned the carb, changed some jets around, still couldn't get it to run right. Did a compression check and it's pretty sloppy. It's actually under 75 PSI. So I'm gonna have my son pull the plastics off this thing. We're gonna put it at top dead center and pull that head off and see what's going on. I don't know if it's a valve issue yet or rings. So kind of hoping it's the top end, the piston, the rings, because I've never lapped valves before, but we're gonna find out what's going on here in a couple minutes. So stay tuned. All right, we got the plastics off. Had to take it off the stand. I was hoping we could just leave it on that because it's terrible bending down like this to work on stuff, but skid plate is gonna have to come off. So we're gonna rig it back on the stand here in a minute. Jason's pulling the exhaust off. We'll pull the intake off, get it back on the stand, and try to pull the top in. See what happens. All right, we got the bike all strapped up. We're gonna put it to top dead center before we start taking anything apart. Looking for the slash marks here. There they are. Okay. That's 180 out. The valves are tight. So we'll go another revolution. There they are again. Right there. Valves loose. Top dead center. So what you're looking for top dead center, it's really tough to see there, but there's 3 slash marks. Obviously the center slash mark is right in the middle. And then you want this one facing this point. Okay, we got the cam sprocket off, getting ready to pull the head off. Trying not to lose anything here. A lot of carbon buildup, so I'm thinking for sure at this point it's probably the piston and rings, but now we'll dig a little deeper. Yep, you kind of guide the head off. I mean, there you go, nice and easy. Hang on, hang on, hang on. There you go. Easy. Go ahead. Let's get that back. Rings feel really sloppy. Let's take a look at the inside of the cylinder. Actually, it looks really clean. We'll pull the piston off and take a look at the piston then. Hopefully we can get away with maybe just a ring. So I'm hoping we found the culprit. The piston has some scoring that can be felt by the nail. The bottom ring looked like it may have been falling apart. I can't get it to go back in. A lot of carbon buildup everywhere, so we're gonna clean that up. The cylinder looks really clean. I think maybe we got lucky. But I want to drop this off at a performance shop tomorrow after work. Let them mic it, double check that it's okay. Then we'll have them hone it out. And we'll order up a new top end for it. We'll put that in. Gonna clean the head up. I don't know if there's any damage to the valves yet. There's a ton of carbon buildup. So once we clean that up, we'll check that. If we have to lap that, we'll lap that. Never done that before, but it'll be a new experience. We'll check back in after we get all the parts. All right. So we got it torn down. Decided to go ahead. We're going to pull this this muffler apart. There's a ton of carbon buildup in there. I have some packing left over from the KX rebuild. So we're going to pull that apart, clean it up, repack it while we're at it. The head looks good. I don't think I have to worry about anything. Everything's nice and tight on the inside. The valves actually look good. It was just a ton of carbon buildup. Bearing's good. So we're not going to worry about this. We're just going to take that head to get honed and get a new piston, clean everything up, put it back together, and hopefully stop this thing from smoking. Well, we got it apart. It was very difficult. It was really carboned up, so that's about the best I could get it apart. I'm gonna try to reuse this fiberglass sleeve over the wrap that I have. Jace is outside right now cleaning up the baffle and getting the carbon out of the pipe. Gonna try to wrap this thing up and put it back together, but it's definitely been running pretty poorly for a while. So, man, look at that. All right, all the carbon buildup is off the baffle. I'm going to use this Fly Racing packing. I've used this before. We'll pack it up, rewrap with the fiberglass, and stuff it back into the exhaust. Okay, so for you guys, it's been minutes. For us, it's been about 9 days to get these in. So we got the cylinder honed and checked by a local performance shop. It was good here. Piston, $35 for this little thing. There is the OEM part number. We found out real quick there's not a whole lot of aftermarket for these TTr50s. There is the ring set, $58. Again, OEM. We did manage to find an aftermarket gasket set. I believe it's Nomura. So there's the part number there. And there's the gasket set. This actually looks, pretty nice in my opinion. Came with everything we need. So we're gonna start putting this thing back together. Hopefully have a running bike for the kid. Okay, so we put the rings in the piston, got the piston set on the crank. It was more of a hassle than I thought getting it to go in here. I tried several different ways, but I decided not to use the camera footage because it's like a lot of cursing and complaining. So we're gonna go ahead and get this bolted up, get the head on, and keep going. Okay, that went together better than I thought. Head gasket's on. Tensioner guides are in. Head is on. Perfect. So let's see, I'm gonna tighten this one, all right?
Yeah.
I suppose.
Now hold this.
Yeah, we're gonna flip it the other way. There we go. We're gonna use the bike to kind of help. Got it?
Yep.
Okay. Let's just put it back on the timing marks and make sure we're good here. Looks good. Perfect. So this gasket kit is pretty cool. It came with pretty much every gasket you could think of for the top end, which was nice because I looked at some that was just the base gasket and the head gasket. But here's the one for the automatic tensioner, so that's cool that it came with that, and it came with some extra O-rings, and hopefully this thing's gonna be ready to rip. I should add, I don't have torque settings, so I kind of gave it the old college try and tightened down to what felt snug or tight without over tightening. So we'll see if that works to my advantage or not. I'm not a huge fan of the carburetor setup on these TTr50s. I think the CRFs are quite a bit easier to work on. It has an aftermarket carburetor on it. It's like an Amazon one. But we jetted it, did the cold start kit on it while we had it apart. So hopefully that helps a little bit. I don't think it was ever properly jetted for the pipe, which could be part of the reason why it burned up the piston. So new plug, we'll check that after it's good and warm and see what that looks like too. Okay, so it's all back together. While it was apart, we repacked the pipe, cleaned that up. He did some bling to it. We wrapped the pipe because he burned his leg on that pretty bad, so that's going to smoke. I'm pretty sure it's going to smoke when it starts up anyway. I use 2-stroke oil to lubricate the piston. So fuel's on, chokes up. We should probably get ready to adjust it too because we had the carburetor part. Is it the gas is on, the choke's up, Jace?
Yep.
Choke up?
No, not choke. Choke's not.
That's why. Hey, we're idling. It's running. It's quiet. So it wasn't starting because I asked them 3 times if the choke was up, and the choke was not up. But that's kind of cool that it started without it. We're gonna let it warm up while we put the plastics back on, and see if we can get it ripping. All right, he's anxious to ride it. We're gonna run it through its first heat cycle, just very easy. Next one we'll get on it a little bit more, seat those rings, but it's running a lot better already. It's not smoking at the idle yet. I know our wrap's gonna be smoking here shortly as soon as this thing heats up, but go ahead, dude. Sounds a lot better already with that repack pipe. All right, other than the exhaust wrap stinking and smoking, it's running fairly well. A little bit of popping at the low end. I blame it on that carburetor. It's an Amazon Kippa. It did not come with the stock carb. I maybe have to look for one. Okay, so to close this video out, after the rebuild, the bike was still popping and sputtering right around a quarter throttle. After several times taking the carb apart, I finally checked the floats, and the floats were set nowhere close to factory, so it was running super rich. Floats were set super high. After doing that, you know, some minor adjustments to the air fuel. Now it runs and idles. So pretty happy with it. not smoking. Compression's super good now. I'm not saying I'm not going to look for a factory Yamaha carb, because I may still do that, but it's good to go now. Kid's super happy. Fun little pit bike. Thanks for checking it out.